In this episode of Coaching During COVID, we're featuring head volleyball coach Gilad Durand. Obviously, this season is looking very different from years past. What does a day in the life of a volleyball player look like now, and how has the team adapted?
Yeah, hi Charlotte. Great to be here with you. We take day by day, because the things change all the time. We try to remind our players this is just different times, unusual times. Let's try to do our part the best we can and hope everybody else does. We are excited to be here on campus in some way. We are approved to go to phase 2 partially this week. So things are moving in the right direction, but we always get to remind ourselves it can change in any second. So I'm glad that our players are bought in and doing their best they can to enjoy what we've got so far. And it's been really challenging, especially for fall sports, who last November, some of our players left campus and they haven't got back until September, so just being able to be back with some of them, it's really, really good for us and fun to see them again.
How many players are on campus this term, and how are you training those who are at home?
It's a good question again. So we have right now 13 players approved, whether they live on campus or whether they are locally approved. So it's a pretty good number of our total 18 on the roster. So those who are here follow the protocol. They quarantine. Then we start last week 1 hour a day of strength and conditioning. This week we got approved for 8 hours. So we will go with some volleyball skill specific, try to get them back to see where they are at. We'll start tomorrow, so that's super exciting. For those who are away, it's we have some are locally non-approved, so they will, they try to do the best they can in finding areas to play volleyball, maybe in a rec league if there's open, or working out as much as they can in local gyms. It's a little more challenging, but that's kind of where the standard is. They could have stayed home and find a place there. We have some that done that, and they're working out, and we ask them to do the best they can to maintain the team standards that laid out by us and by the strength and conditioning coaches and athletic trainers. So if they will get approved and if they will be back, we will just be able to move forward and not really restarting again but it's a little more challenging. And I think the harder part is when they know there's players here that get to train and they don't really get to be with the same group. That's kind of where I think that makes it extremely challenging.
What are some positives during this difficult time?
One big positive that we notice is the appreciation, the regain appreciation to be able to play sport again, to be able to be part of a community, of a team or a family. When we're taking before COVID, everybody took things for granted. Everything's going to be the same. Doesn't really matter. Well, now it does. And you can see that 9 months after, we're still not in the same normalcy that we were before. And and now we have a regained appreciation of just seeing each other, or just being around, touching a volleyball starting tomorrow. And because before you would just think it's just another day, now it's like I get a chance to do something I really love. We always search inside why we play the sport. I think it's brought us more together, during this time, because we could communicate in a different way, whether it's Zoom, whether it's doing different team activities, including the incoming class, which we had a chance to integrate them in the summer. It makes it a little more united team going forward, I believe.
I think that's all I have, but thanks for chatting with me.
Thank you, Charlotte, for having me here. And again, we continue to hope for better days and getting back to see how the team's looking at. And, we try to stay hopeful. We try to keep the hope in our players. And I know they're doing very, very well. So, we hope to build on that.